Good morning, and welcome to First Church Unitarian in Littleton, Massachusetts. My name is David Gaynor, and I'm honored to serve as a member of the Standing Committee. Thank you. You're welcome. It's great that you have found us today and that you are joining us for our hybrid service. And we particularly welcome any newcomers to our wonderful church community. Please read our Community Matters newsletter, which is in your order of service and also available on our website at fculittle.org, where you will find information about our religious education program and other church activities. Good news. Well, we will not be having coffee hour today. Coffee hour will return next Sunday, November 27th. Thank you to all who have volunteered to set up and clean up. Also, a reminder that the Greater Littleton Interfaith Council, that's a mouthful, Interfaith Thanksgiving service will take place at St. Anne's Church, Littleton this evening at 7 p.m. And a reminder that the Environmental Action Group is meeting on Tuesday, November 29th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Our service today is entitled Counting Our Blessings, including a Cornbread and Cider communion service served by our deacons. Thank you, and welcome to church.
The words of Methodist minister Jan Richardson. And the table will be wide, and the welcome will be wide. And the arms will open wide to gather us in. And our hearts will open wide to receive. We will come as children who trust that there is enough. And we will open our hands to the feast without shame. And we will turn toward each other without fear. And we will give up our appetite for despair. And we will taste and know of delight. And we will become bread for the hungering world. And we will become drink for those who thirst. And the blessed will become the blessing, and everywhere will be the feast. Let us worship. I'd like to invite up Henry to light our chalice this morning. And as Henry lights our chalice, please join me in saying the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you. Good morning. I join with David in welcoming you here to First Church Unitarian in Littleton, Massachusetts, and a welcome to anyone joining us this morning online, virtually. Great that you're all with us. So happy to see you. And my name is Lara Hoke, and I'm so happy and lucky to be the minister serving this incredible congregation. Today, I will remind us that this is the Transgender Day of Remembrance, so we hold that in our hearts today. And today, we are multi-generational. We're so excited to have people of all ages with us in the sanctuary. And just a reminder that you don't have to worry too much about noises that might come from people of all ages.
She's telling people, don't worry if the baby's crying.
We're
We
happy
like
you're
it.
here.
We
And
want you
make
here.
noises. All right. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, yes, welcome to our wonderful guest musicians today. We have some great music. Carolyn McCreary is playing piano, letting Malley have a well-deserved day off. Thank you. And Emma Bruns Riffelmacher is right here to be our guest vocalist, and she sounds awesome. And we have 3/4 of the Firehouse Band, too. Sarah and Charlie Weeks and Eric Semple. So we're grateful for all of that special music. But we're going to start out making our own special music with the opening hymn. It's number 349, We Gather Together. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and the lyrics will be on the screen as well.
You put the words up for them. Your mom is now in the front of the church.
Please be seated.
No, she went upstairs.
Talking.
Trina called.
She's talking to Trina. There you go.
I'm so loud today. Usually I'm so quiet. I found this lovely story called Those Shoes. I have dreams about those shoes. Black high taps, 2 white stripes. Grandma, I want them. There's no room for want around here, just need. Grandma says, and what you need are new boots for winter. Brandon T. comes to school in those shoes. He says he's the fastest runner now, not me. I was always the fastest before those shoes came along. Nate comes to school in those shoes. Antonio and I count how many times Nate goes to the bathroom. 7 times in one day, just so he can walk up and down the hall. Real slow. Next, Alan, Jacoby, and Terrence each get a pair. Then one day in the middle of kickball, one of my shoes comes apart. Looks like you could use a new pair of shoes, Jeremy, Mr. Alfrey said, the guidance counselor says. He brings out a box of shoes and other stuff he has for kids who need things. He helps me find the only shoes that are my size. Velcro, like the ones my little cousin Marshall wears. And they have an animal on them from a cartoon I don't think any kid has ever watched. When I come back to my classroom, Alan Jacoby takes one look at my Mr. Alfrey shoes and laughs. And so does Terrence, Brandon T., and everyone else. The only kid not laughing is Antonio Parker. At home, Grandma says, "How kind of Mr. Alfrey." I nod and turn my back. I'm not going to cry over any dumb shoes. But when I'm writing my spelling words later, every word looks like the word shoes, and my grip is so tight on my pencil, I think it might bust. On Saturday, Grandma says, "Let's check out those shoes you're wanting so much. I got a little bit of money set aside. Might be enough. You never know." At the shoe store, Grandma turns those shoes over so she can check the price. When she sees it, she sits down heavy. "Maybe they wrote it wrong," I say. Grandma shakes her head. Then I remember the thrift shops. What if there's a rich kid who outgrew his and got 2 pairs for Christmas and had to give one of them away? We ride the bus to the first thrift shop. Black cowboy boots, pink slippers, sandals, high heels, every kind of shoes except the ones I want. We ride the bus to the second thrift store. Not a pair of shoes in sight. Around the corner is the third thrift shop. I see something in the window. Black shoes with 2 white stripes, high tops, perfect shape, $2.50. Those shoes! My heart is pounding hard as I take off my shoes and hitch up my baggy socks. "How exciting," Grandma says. "What size are they?" I shove my foot into those shoes, curling my toes to get my heel in. I don't think they fit. I don't know, but I think they fit. Grandma kneels on the floor and feels my toes at the end of the shoe. "Oh, Jeremy," she says, "I can't spend good money on shoes that don't fit." I pull on the other shoe and try to walk around. "They're okay," I say, holding my breath and praying that my toes will fall off right then and there. But my toes don't fall off. I buy them anyway with my own money, and I squeeze them on and limp to the bus stop. At home a few days later, Grandma puts a new pair of boots in my closet and doesn't say a word about my 2 big feet shuffling around in my 2 small shoes. "Sometimes shoes stretch," I say. Grandma gives me a hug. I check every day, but those shoes don't stretch. I have to wear my Mr. Alfrey's to school instead. One day during math, I glance at Antonio's shoes. One of them's taped up, and his feet look smaller than mine. After school, I head to the park to think. Antonio's there, the only kid who didn't laugh at Mr. Alfrey's shoes. We shoot baskets. A loose piece of tape on Antonio's shoes smacks the concrete every time he jumps. I think, I'm not going to do it. We leap off the swing. I'm not going to do it. We race from one end of the playground to the other. I'm not going to do it, I say. "Do what?" says Antonio, breathing hard. Grandma calls me for supper and invites Antonio over too. After supper, he spies my shoes. "How come you don't wear them?" Antonio asks. I shrug. My hands are sweaty. I can feel him wishing those shoes were his. That night, I'm awake. for a long time thinking about Antonio. When morning comes, I try on my shoes one last time. Before I can change my mind, the shoes are in my coat, snow's beginning to fall as I run across the street to Antonio's apartment. I put the shoes in front of his door, push the bell, and run. At school, Antonio is smiling big in his brand new shoes. I feel happy when I look at his face and mad when I look at Mr. Alfrey's shoes. But later, when it's time for recess, something happens. Everywhere there's snow. Leave your shoes in the hall and change into your boots, the teacher announces. Leave your shoes in the hall? It's then I remember what I have in my backpack. New boots. New black boots that no kid has ever worn before. Standing in line to go to recess, Antonio leans forward and says, "Thanks." I give him a nudge. Let's race. So, I love this little story. And just one quick thing. On your seats somewhere, and if you don't have, let me know later on, but there should be strips of paper and some crayons or pencils that you're going to need at some point. So if you don't have them, just look around on your seat, and if you have too many, maybe pass them to other people. I'm just going to quickly pass these. Do you need some? You need some? Okay. I'll get more if we need them. I don't know.
Test, test.
Come a little bit closer, hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we could dream this night away. But there's a full moon rising, let's go dancing in the light. We know where the music's playing, let's go out and feel the night. Because I'm still in love with you, I want to see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you, on this harvest moon. When we were strangers, I watched you from afar. When we were lovers, I loved you with all my heart. But now it's getting late, and the moon is climbing high. I want to celebrate, see it shining in your eye. Because I'm still in love with you, I want to see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. Because I'm still in love with you, I want to see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon.
Thank you. As my bandmate said at the concert the Friday before last, they put the money in harmony. And speaking of money, it's often said that a grateful heart is a generous heart. And so this morning, we think with gratitude of our many gifts, one of which hopefully you feel is First Church Unitarian. I know I feel it's a gift. So we ask that you help to support this self-supporting congregation, to support the ministries we do here between these walls and the ministries out in the world as well. This morning's offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation.
I stand at your gate, and the song that I sing is of moonlight. I stand and I wait for the touch of your hand in the June night. The roses are sighing a moonlight serenade. The stars are aglow and the night, how their light sets me dreaming, my love. Do you know that your eyes are like stars brightly beaming? I bring you and sing you a moonlight serenade. Let us stray till break of day in love's valley of dreams. Just you and I, a summer sky, a heavenly breeze, kissing the trees. So don't let me wait. Come to me tenderly in the June night. I stand at your gate, and I sing you a song in the moonlight, a love song, my darling, a moonlight serenade.
Thank you. Please join with me in the words of our community response. We are grateful for the opportunity to give and serve, and grateful for the gifts we have received. May this affirm the ministries of our church community, both within and beyond these walls. Every year, leading up to Thanksgiving, we're told to feel thankful. Maybe you've heard that you should have an attitude of gratitude. Certainly every year at this time, we are instructed to name something that we're feeling grateful for. It's often a command performance around the table at Thanksgiving. Name one thing that makes you feel thankful. And, you have to say family. I mean, they're sitting right there. It's only polite. And, hopefully you really are feeling grateful for your family in spite of whatever stresses you might feel at your particular table. But what else? When you dig a little deeper, do you ever count your blessings? Do you ever literally sit down and try to think about everything that makes you feel thankful or lucky or even blessed, even on a very ordinary day? In preparation for this homily, I thought I'd give that a chance on Friday to register all day long everything that made me feel thankful. And I can't begin to share it all with you because it's quite a long list. I woke up, just to give you a little sense, I woke up and immediately I felt grateful for my wife next to me and the dog at the foot of my bed. And, well, actually it's a futon and not very comfortable, but I'm still grateful for it. It's a lot better than nothing. And I'm grateful to live in a place that's warm when it's cold and that's cool when it's hot. And I was grateful for the coffee and breakfast, grateful that I really never have to worry about where my next meal is coming from. That's a great thing. Then my stepdaughter Dava woke up and I felt grateful that she was in my life. There's a lot of good, basic, important stuff, really, within the first 15 minutes of getting up. Food, clothing, shelter, people, and a pet that I love, and who usually love me back. It goes on and on when you really make yourself think about it. I'll skip ahead to the afternoon. At 2 p.m., 2 p.m. on Fridays, we have an online meditation group that meets. And so I got online and was grateful for the computer that this congregation provides to me. I was grateful that some folks showed up. I was grateful for having a meditation practice. And get this, I realized that I was grateful for breathing. Because really, when you focus on your breathing, even though I have a bit of a sinus infection ongoing, it feels really good to breathe in. Try it. Doesn't that feel good, the air coming in? And then when you exhale, I think it's interesting that it feels like a relief when the air comes in, and then it feels like a relief when the air goes back out, coming and going. As the late Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh would say, when I breathe in, I'm aware of the present moment. When I breathe out, I'm aware that it's a happy moment. Present moment, happy moment. And then he adds, enjoy your breathing. And so all day long, now and then, I would just enjoy my breathing. Just that simple. In its own way, it's almost as satisfying as eating, but not quite. Of course, mindfulness really is a wonderful practice that helps you stay in the present moment. And when you really are able to stay in the present moment, it's often the case that you're feeling grateful and content, maybe even happy. And so the gratitude went on and on Friday, because when you really count your blessings all day, you really have a lot, and it feels good. And it's not that negative thoughts didn't come to me. Of course they did. For instance, I'd look down and notice I really don't like my legs. There they are, look at them. But then I'd think about an acquaintance of mine who also does not have conventionally lovely legs. And if I ever complain about my legs, she would say, I love my legs. They're the only legs I've got. And she's so right, you know? And that negative thought would turn to gratitude because, well, thank you, legs. You know, you're supporting me even as I stand here right now. So that's my challenge to you between now and Thanksgiving. Try to count your blessings all day one day, or even half of a day, because you'll find that there's a lot there. Try to be mindful and think about everything that makes you feel thankful, no matter how big or how small, how major, how minor. You might find that the little things are actually the big things. And when you think of a negative thought, see if you can't find some touch of gratitude even in there. And I bet you will if you think about it just a little while. So this Thanksgiving, let's count our blessings, and let's be a blessing that others can count in their lives too. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. And so now we have a litany of thanksgiving. I invite our deacons to come up. This has long been a tradition of this congregation to have our deacons serving the communion at this service. And you'll find there's an insert in your order of service, and also the words will be on the screens, and you can look for the congregation's response. All right? Are you ready, deacons? Okay. There's so much to be grateful for and it is good to express our gratitude. Let us give thanks for our families. We are grateful for the circle of family, for parents who teach, children who learn, and siblings who love. They have nurtured our lives and given us homes.
We give thanks for our natural world.
For earth and universe, for stars and rainbows, and all in nature's room of life that showers us with wonder.
We give thanks for the love of friends.
We are grateful for all the acts of love in the world. Through friendship and service, we are held by comfort, care, in a faith that true justice can be brought to life.
We are grateful for this religious community.
We are grateful for our church and religion. Here we find care and meaning, insight and depth, fellowship and love, community and beauty. We are grateful for a church that transforms our lives.
We give thanks for the abundance of life.
We are grateful for the many gifts of life, for its great variety and its wondrous bounty. We are grateful for each blessing that comes our way, whatever its package or wrapping.
We light these 2 remaining candles for any unspoken thanksgivings or sorrows we are holding in the sanctuaries of our hearts.
Here at First Church Unitarian, we hold religious freedom as one of our central principles. We have much for which we are grateful. In a few minutes, we will share together a simple and symbolic meal created from some elements of the harvest, thanks in part to Susan Palmer, who made our egg-free, gluten-free, nut-free, but not flavor-free cornbread, and the apple cider donated by the Deacons. We will begin by joyfully singing together a grace of gratitude, and then we will come forward to share our humble feast. So after we sing 10:10, I will invite you to come down the center aisle and take a piece of cornbread and a cup of apple cider. And please hold on to them, and the deacons will lead us as we partake together. So after you've gotten your cornbread and your cider, you'll then return to your seats from the outside aisles. If you're unable to come forward or prefer to remain seated, just let us know, raise your hand, and the deacons will be happy to bring you the feast. So let us begin now with our hymn of thanksgiving. I invite you to rise and bow your spirit as you're able. It's number 1010. We give thanks. The words are also on the screens.
Please come down, as you will, in the center and take cornbread and cider. Go back this way. There you go. Does anybody need us to bring the communion to you? Food is often a symbol of home. But what if suddenly you found yourself in a place where everything about the food was different? Imagine what it would be like to flee your homeland and the foods to which you are accustomed and end up somewhere where you not only don't speak the language, but even the basic fruits, vegetables, and grains are different. Just as teff is indigenous to the African continent and millet is indigenous to the Asian continent, corn is indigenous to the North American continent. As we share our cornbread this morning, let us hold in our hearts all those here and abroad who have been forced to leave their homes. Let us hold in our hearts all those here and abroad from whom home no longer exists. Let us hold in our hearts all those here and abroad who no longer have a home.
The only apples native to North America are crab apples. The ones we enjoy in this country today come originally from Asia, through the Middle East, into Europe, and then on to America. As we share our apple cider this morning, may it symbolize the sweetness that can come from being open to new experiences, whether it be new foods or new people. Let us remember how our lives are enriched when people share their gifts with one another. Bonjour.
Let us join in gratitude on this wondrous day where we have the abundance of our lives before us. We remember this day of bounty, all of those who do not have enough, who are afraid, and who are lonely, and who suffer. We wish for the abundance of this world to be shared, for fear to become love, for the lonely to feel welcome, and for the suffering to know rest and joy, for the labors, the love, the care that gave us the delights of this every day. We say, thanks for the nourishment of our spirits, the challenges that strengthen us, and the friends we have on the journey. We sing thanks for all that is our love, for the good gifts. We whisper thanks. Overflowing with gratitude, let us all shout Amen.
And now we'll join together in the singing of our closing song. Sorry, I need this one more time. This land is your land. The lyrics are printed in your order of service, and they should also be available up on our screens. Thank you. Please rise in body or in spirit.
First verse is actually the chorus, so we'll do the chorus first and at the end. We won't do it in between each verse. We'll be here till 5 o'clock. One, two, three, four.
have this. So thank you. And in our gratitude for everything, there's so much, as Reverend Lara said, to be thankful for. Do all the good you can do, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, to all the people you can, for as long as you ever can. John Wesley. I invite you to hold hands or elbows, however you want, to connect. Hold the guitar. Or put your feet together and just take a moment to remember that all of us bring something to each other and to the world, and may we continue to do so as long as we possibly can. Blessed be, and amen. And one quick thing, you all have a little piece of paper, hopefully, and a crayon or a pencil or something. So this is the mandatory, write what you're thankful for, but it doesn't have to say your family. Come up with something else. And then I'll collect them, and I'm going to put the chain together and hang it in the vestry. Going to write a gratitude. Ooh.
I'm ready. Twice.
Gonna make a sentimental journey, gonna set my heart at ease, gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, I got my reservation, spent each dime I could afford. Like a child in wild anticipation, I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearny. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna make a sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. Gonna make a sentimental journey, gonna set my heart at ease, gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, I got my reservation, spent each dime I could afford. Like a child in wild anticipation, I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearny. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna make a sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
We're still being recorded, I
You
guess.
Zoomy people at home, wave if you can hear me, Zoomy people.
Well, then let's say really
Anybody
awful
hear me at
things,
home?
okay?
We've already done that one
Anybody
time.
hear me at home?
I'm just curious. Did anyone see the chat, the meeting chat?
I did see your chat, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get any responses,
Can
so
anybody hear me? If you can hear me, wave. Okay. Somebody raise their hand to be the host to end the meeting later. All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay.
Rory, thank you.
Welcome.
Anyway, I was curious because I didn't get any responses to my message, and it was there for a while just by itself.
Well, not